In this video, we're going to go over past tense. So past tense means something that happened yesterday in the past. Present tense means something that happened today. So if it's something that happened today, I am in class today. Alice is at the library today. My friends are at home today. But yesterday, I was in class. Yesterday, Alice was at the library. Yesterday, my friends were at home. So singular, I was, you were, she was, he was, it was, we were, you were, they were. So I, she, he, it was, you, we, you, they were. So this is the simple past tense which expresses an action, a completed action in the past. So here you have Bob is in class today. He was in class yesterday too. I'm in class today. I was in class yesterday too. Mary is at the library today. She was at the library yesterday too. We're in class today. We were in class yesterday too. You're busy today. You were busy yesterday too. I'm happy today. I was happy yesterday too. The classroom is hot today. The classroom was hot yesterday too. Anne is in her office today. Anne was in her office yesterday too. Tom is in his office today. Tom was in his office yesterday too. Tom and Anne are in their offices today. Tom and Anne were in their offices yesterday. So that's how you change from past tense today to present tense today to past tense yesterday. So negative, I was not in class yesterday. I wasn't in class yesterday. They were not at home last night. They weren't at home last night. So was not becomes wasn't. Were not becomes weren't. So I wasn't, she wasn't, he wasn't, it wasn't. We wasn't, we weren't, you weren't, they weren't. So Ken is here today, but he wasn't here yesterday. I'm at home tonight, but I was not at home last night. Olga is busy today, but Olga was not busy yesterday. Tom was at the library tonight, but Tom was not at the library yesterday. Alex and Rita are at work this afternoon, but they were not at work yesterday. You're here today, but you were not here yesterday. Dr. Ruckman was in her office this morning, but she was not in her office yesterday. It's cold this week, but it was not cold last week. So that's how you use not or negative in with the past tense. So if you want to formulate questions, you would say, were you in class yesterday? Yes, I was. No, I wasn't. Was Carlos at home last night? Yes, he was. No, he wasn't. Where were you yesterday? In class. I was in class yesterday. Where was Jennifer last night? At home. She was at home last night. So here you have the be verb plus the subject, and you switch the two around, and you put the verb in the front and the subject next to it. And that's how you formulate a question. So here you would have, were you at home last night? No, I wasn't. Was Mr. Yamamoto absent from class yesterday? Yes, he was. Was Oscar and Anya at home last night? Yes, they were. Were you nervous the first day of class? No, you were not. Or no, I am not. Was Ahmed at the library last night? Yes, he was. Was Mr. Shin in class yesterday? No, he was not. Where was Mr. Shin? At home. Were you and your family in Canada last year? No, we were not. Where were you last year? In Ireland. Are you at the library right now? No, I am not. Where are you going next, or where will you be? In class. So this is more practice on how to formulate your tenses. So here you have, were you in class yesterday? Yes, I was. Is Anita in class today? No, she isn't. Were you tired last night? Yes, I was. I went to bed early. Are you hungry right now? No, I'm not hungry, but I'm thirsty. Was the weather hot in New York City last summer? Yes, it was. It was very hot. Is the weather cold in Alaska in the winter? Yes, it is. It's very cold. So we use present tense when it's something that happens on a regular basis all the time, like a habit. Were Yoko and Mohammed here yesterday afternoon? Yes, they were. Are the students in this class intelligent? Of course they are. They are very intelligent. Is Mr. Talk absent today? Yes, he is absent today. Where is Mr. Talk today? I don't know where Mr. Talk is. Were, so last night meaning yesterday, so were Tony and Benito at the party? No, they were not. Where were they? They were at home. Was Amy out of town last week? Yes, she was. Where did she go? She went to Canada or Paris or someplace else. So the simple past, in order to form the simple past for regular verbs, we simply add ed at the end of the verb. So I walk to school every day. Then past, simple past, I walked to school yesterday. Anne walks to school every day. Anne walked to school yesterday. So all of the simple tenses, like simple past and simple present, all represent a finished, completed action. Every day I walk. Yesterday I walked. Every day I work. Yesterday I worked. So all of these are regular verbs. When you have a regular verb put into the simple past, you just add ed. Every day Omar shaves. Yesterday Omar shaved. Every night Paula watches TV. Last night she watched TV. Every day Mrs. Wu cooks. Last night she cooked. Every day people smile. Yesterday they smiled. Every day it rains. Last week it rained. Ed. So everything you add an ed at the very end of the regular verb in order to make it past tense. Every day we ask questions. Yesterday we asked questions. Every day I talk on the phone. Yesterday I talked on the phone. Every day Tomo listens to music. Yesterday he listened to music. Everything is an ed. So here is the same thing. You add ed in order to make it past tense. So far you've done simple past, simple present, and present progressive. So that's how we form the simple past. You just add ed. And then how do you know if a sentence is in the past tense? Every time you see these indicators, yesterday, yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening, last night, last week, last month, last year, last spring, last summer, last fall, last winter, last Monday, last Tuesday, last Wednesday, or 5 minutes ago, 2 hours ago, 3 days ago, 1 week ago, 6 months ago, a year ago. So all of these time indicators indicate that the sentence took place in the past. I dreamed about you last night. I was downtown this morning. Oh. 2 students were absent last Friday. Anna wasn't at home last night. Anna wasn't home yesterday evening. Carmen was out of town last week. I visited my aunt and uncle last fall. Roberto walked home yesterday afternoon. My sister arrived in Miami last Sunday. We watched TV last night. Ali played with his children yesterday evening. Yoko arrived in Los Angeles last summer. I visited my relatives in San Francisco last month. My wife and I moved into a new house last year. Mrs. Porter washed the kitchen floor yesterday morning. So you could go back here in order to review yesterday, yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening. And then last night, last week, last month, last year, last spring, summer, fall, winter, last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 5 minutes ago, 2 hours ago, 1 week ago. And so here, I visited my relatives in San Francisco last month. My wife and I moved into a new house last year. Mrs. Porter washed the kitchen floor yesterday morning. I'm in class now, but I was at home 10 minutes ago. I'm in class now, but I was absent from class 2 days ago. I'm in this country, but I was in my country 2 years ago. I was in Los Angeles 5 years ago. I was in elementary school many decades ago. I arrived in this city many decades ago. There is a nice park in this city. I was at the park 2 hours ago. We finished exercise 16 5 minutes ago. I was home in bed several hours ago. It rained in this city several weeks ago. So that's how you use ago. The simple past with irregular verbs. Now with regular verbs, when we put it into the simple past, we put an ed, like walk and walked. But when it's an irregular verb, when you put it into irregular verb into the past tense, it doesn't become ed. Therefore, come, came, do, did, eat, ate, get, got, go, went, have, had, put, see, saw, sit, sat, sleep, slept, stand, stood, write, wrote. And you just simply have to memorize the list. There's a whole list of irregular verbs that even native speakers have to memorize. And I remember having to memorize this in 7th and 8th grade. And it was a pain in the neck back then. I come to class every day. I came to class yesterday. I do my homework every day. I did my homework yesterday. Anne eats breakfast every morning. Anne ate breakfast yesterday morning. So here you have do, did. We did exercises yesterday. Eat, ate. I ate lunch yesterday. Get, got. I got up yesterday. Go, went. I went downtown yesterday. Have, had. I had breakfast yesterday. See, saw. I saw my friend yesterday. Sit, sat. I sat at my desk yesterday. Sleep, slept. I slept for 10 hours last night. Stand, stood. I stood at the bus stop yesterday. Write, wrote. Yesterday, I wrote in my journal. So Mary talked to John on the phone last night. Mary is talking to John on the phone right now. Mary talks to John on the phone every day. Jim and I ate lunch at the cafeteria 2 hours ago. We eat lunch at the cafeteria every day. I went to bed early last night. My roommate studied Spanish last year. Sue writes, Sue wrote an email to her parents yesterday. Sue writes an email to her parents every week. Sue is in her room right now. She is sitting at her desk. Maria did her homework last night. Yesterday I saw Fumiko at the library. I had a dream last night. I dreamt about my friends. I slept for 8 hours. So how did I know what tense to use? I look at things like yesterday morning, so that makes it past tense. Last night, so that makes it talked. Right now means that it's present perfect. That's right this second. Mary is talking to John. Every day means it's some kind of habit. And when it's some kind of habit, it's always present tense. Mary talks. 2 hours ago means that it's in the past tense. So Jim and I ate lunch. Every day means that it's a habit. So it's simple present. We eat. Last night, therefore, I went to bed. Last year, past tense, studied. Yesterday, wrote. And then every week, habit. Simple present, right. Sue is in her room right this second. So every time you see right now, then that means it's present progressive. So Sue is sitting at her desk. Maria, last night, did her homework. Yesterday, I saw Fumiko. Last night, I had, dreamt, and slept. And the reason why all of these are all in the past tense is because it's consistent verb tense. So if you have several sentences, all tend to be one tense. So if you start out with the verb like this one in the past tense, then all the connected sentences to that sentence are all in the past tense. A strange thing happened to me yesterday. My wife comes home around 5 every day. So it's a habit, therefore simple present. Yesterday, she came home at 5:15. Our teacher is standing in the middle of the room right now. Our teacher stood in the front of the room yesterday. Tom put the butter in the refrigerator yesterday. He puts the milk in the refrigerator every day. Pablo usually, so here when you see usually, that means it's something that happens every day as a habit. Therefore, if it's some kind of habit, it's always present tense. Pablo usually sits in the back of the room, but yesterday, so here you have yesterday as a time marker, he sat in the front row. Today, he is absent, but he was absent 2 days ago too. So here you have 2 days ago, which makes this past tense. So you have to be very cognizant and aware of all of the time markers, like usually, every day, yesterday, in order to know what tense to put in the verbs. And that means that when you write sentences, you have to use these time indicators to indicate to your reader when something took place. I did not walk to school yesterday. You did not walk to school yesterday. Tom did not eat lunch yesterday. They did not come to class yesterday. So this is how you use the simple past in the negative. I, you, he, she, it, we, they. Did not, which is the helping verb. Did is the helping verb. Not is the negative. And main verb is walk, eat, and come. And so here you have, and when you put these two together, didn't, then it becomes a contraction. I don't go to the park every day, but I didn't go there yesterday. We didn't have rain today, but we didn't have rain today. Linda doesn't sit in the front row every day, but she didn't sit there 2 days ago. Mrs. Romano and her son don't talk on the phone every day. They talked to each other last weekend, but they also talked on the phone last night. Oh, but they did not talk on the phone last night. So that's how you, and then the simple past with yes and no questions. Did Mary walk to school? Yes, she did. No, she didn't. Did you come to class? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. So, did you walk downtown yesterday? Yes, I did. Did it rain last week? No, it didn't. Did you eat lunch in the cafeteria? Yes, I ate lunch at the cafeteria. Was Mr. Kwan out of town last week? Yes, he was out of town. Yes, he was. Did I have a cup of coffee this morning? Or did you have a cup of coffee this morning? Yes, I had a cup of coffee this morning. Did Benito and you go to a party last night? Yes, we did. Did Olga study English in high school? Yes, she did. Did Yoko and Ali do their homework last night? Yes, they did. Did Gina eat? Did you see Gina last night eating dinner? Yes, we did. So that's how you do that. Did you do well on the test? Did you finish the assignment? Does it make sense? Did you answer your question? Do you need more help? Do you understand the homework? Did you explain the project? Oh, I think this all has to be did you. Did you do well on the test? Did you finish the assignment? Did it make sense? Did you answer your question? Did you need more help? Did you understand the homework? Did you explain the project? Did you complete the project? Did you do well? Did you pass the class? So that's all did you. And then these are all, if you're in a class, you can then have all of these group activities. So here's some more irregular verbs. Bring, brought, buy, bought, catch, caught, drink, drank, drive, drove, read, read, ride, rode, run, ran, teach, taught, think, thought. So you just gotta have to memorize all of these verbs, irregular verbs in the past tense. So irregular verbs do not take, and here's some more irregular verbs: break, broke, fly, flew, hear, heard, leave, left, meet, met, pay, paid, ring, rang, send, sent, sing, sang, speak, spoke, take, took, wake up, woke up. And here's how you would use them: fly, flew, hear, heard, pay, paid, sent, sent, leave, left, meet, met, take, took, wake, woke, speak, spoke, ring, rang, sing, sang, break, broke. So what happened to your finger? I broke it in a soccer game. Who did you talk to at the director's office? I talked to the secretary. When did Jessica leave for Europe? She left for Europe 5 days ago. Did you write Ted a letter? No, but I wrote him a postcard. Do you know Megan Adams? Yes, I knew her, or I met her a couple of weeks ago. Why did you call the police? Because I saw a burglar. Where did you go yesterday? I went with the children to the zoo. Or I took the children to the zoo. What time did you get up this morning? Why did you get up so early? Oh, what time did you get up this morning? I got up at 6:15. Why did you get up so early? The telephone rang. Did you enjoy the party? Yes, I had a good time. We heard songs and danced. It was fun. So that's how you would hear some more irregular verbs. Begin, began, find, found, lost, lost, hang, hung, say, said, sell, sold, steal, stole, tell, told, tear, tore, wear, wore. And so the only way to learn it is just to practice. Did you go to the park? Did you go to the park yesterday? No, we stayed home because it was about to rain. Oh, that's too bad. Susie is in trouble. Why? She told a lie. Her mom and dad are upset. I'm sure she's sorry. May I please have your homework? I don't have it. I had it. I lost it. What? I can't find it anywhere. Where's my coat? I hung it up in the closet for you. Where did you get that pretty shell? I saw it on the beach. Do you still have your bicycle? No, I sold it because I needed some extra money. It's hot in here. What did you say? I didn't hear you. It's hot in here. Why did you take the bus to work this morning? Why didn't you drive? Because somebody stole my car last night. Did you call the police? Of course I did. Did you wear your blue jeans to the job interview? Of course not. I wore a suit. I wrote the wrong amount on the check, so I had to write a new check. What did you do with the first check? I tore it into pieces. That's this picture. I tore it into pieces. So you just have to, so chapter review means that, so do we use did, was, or were? So this means that we're just about finished. Did you go with a friend? Were your friends at the party? Was the party fun? Were there many people there? Did you have a good time? Did you eat a piece of birthday cake? Did everyone sing happy birthday? Was there a birthday cake? Were you hungry? Did you take a present? So that's pretty much this entire, oh, this is fun. Every time I play the game in class, except we would have flashcards, or we would play concentration, or we would play some kind of game, okay? Fly, flew, bring, brought, read, or read, tell, told, stand, stood, teach, taught, drink, drank, wear, wore, buy, bought, speak, spoke, pay, paid, hear, heard, catch, caught, find, found, sleep, slept, think, thought, ride, rode, break, broke, say, said, get, got, leave, left, have, had, paid, pay, paid, meet, met, sit, sat, take, took, ring, rang, write, wrote, sing, sang, wake up, woke up. So you basically have to know all of this just by using it. Someone stealed my bicycle 2 days ago. So we don't say stealed. Someone stole my bike 2 days ago. Did you went to the party yesterday? Did you go to the party? I hear or I heard a really interesting story yesterday. The teacher was not ready for class yesterday. Did Joe come to work last night or last week? Yesterday I stayed home with a Y-E-D. Several students were not on time for the final exam. Your fax came before 10 minutes. Did you get it? Not did you got it. So that pretty much is all of chapter 8. So chapter 9 is simple present. Expressing past tense, part 2. Where did you go? Downtown? Where did you go? Downtown? Yes, I did. No, I didn't go downtown. Where were you? Where were you downtown? Or were you downtown? Or where were you? Why did you run? Because I was late. What time did Anne come? At 6. Did Anne come at 6? Yes, she did. No, she didn't. So here you could say, did you go downtown? Yes, I did. You can have, where did you go? Downtown. Were you downtown? Yes, I was. No, I wasn't. Where were you? Downtown. Did you run because you were late? Yes, I did. Why did you run? Because I was late. Did Anne come at 6? Yes, she did. When did Anne come? Or what time did Anne come? So this all has the same meaning. At 6. What time did Anne come? At 6, 7, or 9. When did Anne come? At 6, Friday, June 15th, last week. So the answer to when can be various expressions of time. So here you have, where did you go yesterday? To the zoo. When did Mr. Chen arrive in Canada? Last month. What time did the plane arrive? At 7:05. Why did you stay home last night? Because I was tired. Why did you stay up? Why are you tired? Because I stayed up the night before. Where did Sarah go for vacation? She went to Greece. At what time did you finish homework? Or when did you finish homework? Around midnight. Either one is okay. When did you go to the city? 5 weeks ago. Why did you laugh? Because Tony made a funny face. Where is Kate? She is upstairs. What time does the movie start? In 10 minutes. Why is Tina behind the door? Because she wanted to surprise Joe. Why does Jim want to lift weights? Because he wants big muscles. So every time you see because, it's always why. Then every time you see 5 weeks ago, you use when. And every time you see a time, you use what time is it? Okay, so that's basically, they're teaching you how to use the expressions of, how to use different questions and how to ask different questions. What did Carol buy? A car. She bought a car. What is Fred holding? Fred is holding a book. Is Fred holding a book? Yes, he is. Did Carol buy a car? Yes, she did. So these are more how to do questions. What did they see? A boat. Who did they see? Jim. Who did they see? Jim. Whom did they see? They saw Jim. And so here, what is used to ask questions about things? Who is used to ask questions about people? Whom is used in formal English as the object of a verb or preposition. Who, not whom, is usually used in everyday English. Whom is used in very formal English, and whom is rarely used in everyday spoken English. Whom is the object of the verb. Usual question word order. Question word, helping verb, subject plus main verb. Who is the subject of the so basically they're saying that what is for things, who is for people, and whom is usually the object of a verb or object of a preposition, and it's very formal English. And that's all you have to remember. So you could say, who saw John? Who talked to John? Who helped John? Who did the teacher see? She saw John. Who did the teacher talk to? She talked to John. Who did the teacher help? She helped John. So that's how you make questions out of who and whom. And here's some more irregular verbs in the past tense. Cost, cost, cut, cut, forget, forgot, give, gave, hit, hit, hurt, hurt, lend, lent, make, made, shut, shut, spend, spent, understand, understood. You just have to memorize that. Blow, blew, draw, drew, fall, fell, feel, felt, grow, grew, keep, kept, know, knew, swim, swam, throw, threw, win, won. Also these are more irregular verbs that you just have to memorize. become, became, bend, bent, bite, bit, build, built, feed, fed, fight, fought, hide, hid, hold, held, shake, and shook. Class activity. This means that you're done with this. I ate breakfast is a main clause. Before I went to class, a time clause. I ate breakfast is a main clause. Before I went to class is a time clause. Before I went to class, comma, which is a time clause. I ate breakfast. We took a walk, main clause. After we finished our work, time clause. After we finished our work, time clause. We took a walk, main clause. We took a walk after the movie, prepositional phrase. I had a cup of coffee before class, prepositional phrase. A clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb. A main clause is a complete sentence. Example A is a complete sentence. I ate breakfast. Example B is an incomplete sentence. Before I went to class. It must be connected, so that means the incomplete sentence must be connected to a main clause for it to make sense. I ate breakfast before I went to class. But if I just simply have before I went to class, that cannot stand alone. That is an incomplete sentence. That is a sentence fragment. And so a time clause can begin with before or after. Before plus subject plus verb is a time clause. After plus subject plus verb is a time clause. A time clause can follow a main clause, as in C and E. So here I ate breakfast before I went to class. So here the time clause follows the main clause. A time clause can come in front of a main clause. After we finished our work. So here you have the time clause that comes in front of the main clause. And there's no difference between the meaning of E and F. We took a walk after we finished our work. After we finished our work, we took a walk. Both mean the same thing. The only difference is when the time clause is in the beginning, or the time clause, also known as a dependent clause. When it's in the beginning of the sentence, you need a comma. If the time clause comes after the sentence, you don't need a comma. So that's basically how it works. Before I went to class, here the time clause is in the beginning of the sentence, you need a comma. If the time clause comes after the main clause, you don't need a comma. We took a walk after the movie. This is a prepositional phrase because a prepositional phrase, the difference between a phrase and a clause. A phrase has no subject and no verb. And so here, prepositional phrase shows time and position. So we took a walk after the movie. So here the prepositional phrase shows time. I had a cup of coffee before class. So here you would have, it's a prepositional phrase. But if I said I had a cup of coffee before class started, then it becomes a time clause. So remember, a clause has a subject and a verb, whereas a phrase does not have a subject and a verb. So that's the difference. So when the rain stopped, we took a walk. Or we took a walk when the rain stopped. So here it has the same meaning. Notice when the time clause is at the beginning of the sentence, we have a comma, and when the time clause is at the end of the sentence, we don't have a comma. So when can introduce a time clause. When plus subject plus verb is a time clause. When the rain stopped is a time clause. When Tom was a child, so that's a time clause. He lived with his aunt, or Tom lived with his aunt when he was a child. When did the rain stop is a question. When the rain stopped is a time clause. So here, if you have a question mark, you know that it's a question. Also, when you have a question, the subject and the verb become inverted. Okay? Here, you have the subject plus verb. Here you have verb plus subject. So as soon as you have verb plus subject and you invert the subject and the verb, and you have a question mark, then it's a question. If you have when plus subject plus verb, then that's a time clause. So that's the difference between a when question and a when time clause. It's all very easy. And I think grammar is so much fun. When did Jim arrive? When Jim arrived? When you were a child. So this is a time clause. When were you in Iran? That's a question. When did the movie end? So here you have the subject last. So every time you have the inverted verb and subject, this is a question. When the movie ended. So here you have subject and verb. So that's a time clause. When Mr. Wong arrived at the airport. So here you have subject plus verb, time clause. When Khalid and Bakir went to a restaurant, subject verb, time clause. When I was a high school student, when plus subject verb, time clause. Here you have verb plus subject, inverted, so that means question. So that's very, very easy. The present progressive and the past progressive. So far we've gone over that the present progressive is something that's happening right now. Just like right now I am teaching English. Right now I am sitting at my computer. I am looking at this screen. I am recording this lecture. So the present progressive describes an activity in progress right now at the moment of speaking. So right now it is 11:08. So then past progressive. That means something that was in progress yesterday. So yesterday it was 10 p.m. Boris was sitting in class, and yesterday I was sitting in the same seat. I was giving the same lecture, except instead of doing chapter 9, I was doing chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 and 7. So yesterday I was sitting at this computer and I was lecturing chapters 1 through 7. So that's what I was doing yesterday. Today, right now, I am doing chapter 9, 9.9 to be exact, okay? So present progressive is something that's happening right now. Past progressive means something in progress yesterday. So the present progressive describes an activity in progress right now at the moment of speaking. The past progressive describes an activity in progress at a particular time in the past. And so here, I am sitting in class. Boris is sitting in class. We are sitting in class. Boris was yesterday. Boris was sitting in class. And we were sitting in class. So the past progressive uses the past forms of was plus were and ing. So here, that's the difference between right now and yesterday. So right now, Boris is sitting in class at 10 o'clock. Yesterday, Boris was sitting in class at 10 o'clock. So that's how we do this was when Kristen was calling at 8:30. Bobby was watching TV. So all of this is in the past. So you can practice all of this while and when in past time clauses. The mouse appeared while I was studying. While I was studying, the mouse appeared. When the mouse appeared, I was studying. Or, I was studying when the mouse appeared. The verb in a while clause is often past progressive. The verb in a when clause is often simple past. Oh, that's true, yes. Mainly because when we say while, okay, while indicates duration. So while I was, while also indicates two things happening at the same time. While I was talking, I heard somebody walking by. So when you have when indicates something suddenly happens. So when the phone rang. So suddenly, while I was studying, when the phone rang. So suddenly the phone rang. So when something happens that's suddenly, then we use when. And then when we have when, we have the simple past. So while I was washing the car, I got a phone call from my friend. When my best friend called last night, I was washing the dishes. My friend Jessica came while I was eating dinner last night. I was eating dinner when my friend Jessica came last night. My friend Ricardo came while I was watching a rented movie on my, this is old. Nobody has a VCR anymore. Okay, I was watching, and nobody rents movies. Boy, this is an old book. Okay, I was streaming a movie on my television last night when my friend Ricardo came. Okay, now it's a little more, everybody streams. Jason wore a suit and tie when I saw him yesterday. Or Jason was wearing a suit and tie when I saw him yesterday. So this is an old book. It had a DVD and all of that. Simple past versus the past progressive. In the simple past, you have a completed action, whereas in the past progressive, the action is still going on. So that's the difference between a simple past and past progressive. Jane called me yesterday. And then after that, it's finished. It's one phone call, completed action. I talked to Jane for an hour last night. So basically, I talked to Jane between 10 p.m. to 11 p.m., finished the action. Whereas if I wanted to say past progressive, I was studying when Jane called me last night. That means that two actions are happening at the same time. While I'm studying, while I'm doing my studying, Jane calls me. So the past progressive, just like present progressive, except it happens in the past, describes an activity that was in progress yesterday. At the time another action happened. So while I was studying last night, Jane called. I opened my umbrella when it began to rain. So here you have two completed actions. You open your umbrella and then suddenly it begins to rain. So if both the when and the main clause are in simple past, it means that the action in the when clause happened first and the action in the main clause happened second. So here, when it began to rain, I opened my umbrella. Has the same meaning. It's much easier to understand if you write it like that. When it began to rain, I opened my umbrella. When the phone rang, I answered it. When the phone rang, I was studying. So in the first one, when the phone rang, so the phone rang first, and then I went to answer it. So it's two completed actions. Here in when the phone rang, but then at the same time, I was still studying my book. So you have two actions happening at the same time. So whenever you have past progressive, that means you have one action that's still going on when another action happens. So I was giving this lecture yesterday when I heard my neighbor walking by, when I heard the phone ring, that sort of thing. So you have yesterday when I was doing chapter 7 and chapter 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, when I was doing my, doing the lecture for this, video for the first part of this book, when I heard my neighbor walk by. So, or when my neighbor walked by, I was doing my lecture. So two things happening at the same time. And so simple past means a completed action, and then past progressive means an action that's still going on. Both of them happening in the past. That's the difference between the two. While my cousin and I, so every time you have while, you always have past progressive. While my cousin and I were having dinner at the restaurant last night, we saw a friend of mine. I introduced her to my cousin. When I heard a knock at the door last night, I walked to the door and opened it. When I opened the door, I saw my brother. I greeted him and asked him to come in. So all of this, because it's when, everything becomes simple past and completed actions. So it starts to get interesting when you start having many, many tenses. Mrs. Reed was turning on the radio in her car. Oh, Mrs. Reed turned on the radio in her car while she was driving home yesterday. She was listening to some music when she suddenly heard a siren. When she looked in her rear view mirror, she saw an ambulance behind her. She immediately pulled her car to the side of the road and waited for the ambulance to pass. So she was driving driving, and then she turned on the radio while she was driving. While she was driving and listening to the music, that's when she heard, and that's two things happening at the same time. That's when she saw the siren, and then she pulled her car over. So here you have several different actions happening at the same time. So this is what happened. Where is it? Oh, I was at my friend's house last night. While we were eating dinner, their cat jumped on my table. My friends seemed not to care, but I lost my appetite. What did you say? Nothing. Why didn't you ask your friends to get their cat off the table? I did not want to be impolite. I think your friends were impolite to let their cat sit on the table during dinner. I had a strange experience yesterday. I was reading my book on the bus when a man sat down next to me and asked me if I wanted some money. I did not want his money. I was very confused. I got up and went toward the door of the bus. While I was waiting for the door to open, the man wanted to give me the money. When the door opened, I quickly got off the bus. I still wondered why he wanted to give me money. So basically you're supposed to listen to a tape and write that down. So this looks like it's the end of, and usually my students love to do this last verb review, and because everybody always gets so confused, and it's a lot of fun going over this last paragraph and to reinforce the grammar rules. And when someone gets it wrong, and then I have a lot of fun explaining, okay, you got it wrong because of this, this, and this. So this is only fun when you do it with a bunch of people, not if I'm just giving a lecture by myself. So chapter 10, future time. So now we're going to do tenses that happen in the future. And so all of these are similar and have a similar meaning to I will. So I am going to go to downtown tomorrow. It's the same meaning as I will go to downtown tomorrow. Sue is going to be here tomorrow afternoon. We are going to come to class tomorrow morning. I'm not going to go downtown tomorrow. Anne isn't going to study tonight. Are you going to come to class tomorrow? No, I'm not. Is Jim going to be at the meeting tomorrow? What time are you going to eat dinner? Around 6. So all of these, future time or be going to, has the same meaning as will. But the difference is it is a lot more conversational. Okay, so this is very conversational English. I am going to go downtown tomorrow morning. Sue is going to be here tomorrow afternoon. So I'm gonna, and also people say gonna, they don't even bother to say I am going to. That is so formal. So I am going to, are you going to go downtown tomorrow morning is very conversational English. I am going to get up before 8 o'clock. I am going to come to class tomorrow. I am going to stay home all day tomorrow. I am going to eat lunch tomorrow. I am going to get a ride with my best friend tomorrow. I am going to get a haircut tomorrow. I am going to watch TV in the evening. I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to go to bed early. I'm going to go to bed late. So all of this has to do with what you're doing tomorrow, and you're going to do it, which has the same meaning as will. So using the present progressive, Sue is going to leave at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Sue is leaving at 8 o'clock tomorrow. We are going to drive to Toronto next week. We are driving to Toronto next week. Sometimes the present progressive is used to express future time. The present progressive is used for future meaning when the speaker is talking about plans that have already been made. So I am coming to visit you. I am doing my homework. I am driving the car. I am going to come tomorrow. I am going to do my homework. I am going to drive my car. I'm going to fly to Chicago tomorrow. I am going to go to visit my cousin tomorrow. I am going to leave my apartment at 5 o'clock. I am going to meet my friend at 3 o'clock. I am going to return to my apartment late tomorrow night. I am going to spend the entire weekend with my family. I am going to start my homework. I am going to stay with my family the entire weekend. I am going to take the entire weekend as my vacation. So all of these is like you're going to do something in the future, something that you planned. And it's also very conversational. And here you have a review of past, future, as well past and the future. So yesterday morning, tomorrow morning, so tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, next week, next month, next year, next weekend, next spring, next summer, next fall, next winter, next Monday. So minutes ago becomes 5 minutes from now, 6 hours from now, 5 days from now, 5 weeks from now, 5 months from now, 5 years from now. So here you would say, it rained yesterday, it's going to rain tomorrow. I was in class yesterday morning. I'm going to be in class tomorrow morning. Mary went downtown last week. Mary is going to go downtown next week. Bob graduated from high school last spring. Anne is going to graduate from high school next spring. I finished my homework 5 minutes ago. Pablo is going to finish his homework in 5 minutes. So in 5 minutes means that 5 minutes from now, which is in the future. I went swimming yesterday evening. Ken is going to the beach tomorrow morning. I'm going to take a trip next week. Maria went to Miami last week. We had a test in class yesterday afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to go on a picnic. My sister is going to arrive next Tuesday. Mr. Ko bought a used car last Friday. My brother is going to enter the university next fall. Last spring, I took a trip to San Francisco. Mia is going to fly to London next month. Rick lived in Tokyo last year. I'm going to study at the library tomorrow night. Last night, I watched TV. Tomorrow evening, I'm going to go to the baseball game. Mrs. Chang went to the opera yesterday evening. So this is pretty easy, huh? Yeah, English is easy. I always tell my students, English is easy. Class is going to end in 10 minutes. Anne's class ended 10 minutes ago. The post office isn't open. It closed an hour ago. Jack is going to call us an hour from now. I'm studying abroad now, but I'm going to be back home in 2 more months, or 2 months from now. My wife and I took a trip to Morocco 2 months ago. Karen left a minute ago. I'm going to meet David at the coffee shop in a half an hour, or a half an hour from now. The new highway is going to open in 1 more week, or 1 week from now. I was living in Korea a year ago, or I was living in Korea last year. Either one. It means the same thing. So that pretty much, a year ago, tomorrow evening, that kind of stuff. Using a couple, a few, with ago, past, and in future. Sam arrived here 1 or a year ago. Jack is going to be here in 2 minutes. I talked to Anne 3 days ago. I saw Carlos a couple of months ago. He's going to return to Mexico in a couple of months. I got a letter from Gina a few weeks ago. I'm going to see Gina in a few weeks. I began college last year. I'm going to graduate in 2 more years. My sister is almost finished with her education. She's going to graduate in a few more months. So here, a couple and a few are also commonly used. A couple of means 2. A few means a small number, not a large number. A few weeks ago, 3 or 4 or 5 weeks ago. Frequently, the word more is used in future time that begin with in. So in a few more months. So that shows that something's going to happen in the future. She's going to graduate in a few more months. Means that right now it's January and she's going to graduate in June, in a few more months. So we studied chapter 9 a couple of days ago. We're going to finish this chapter in a few more days. I ate breakfast a few hours ago, or in a few hours. I'm going to eat lunch a few hours from now. We finished exercise 17 a few minutes ago. This class is going to end in a few minutes. I was born many, many years ago. My parents got married many, many years ago. I arrived in this city in 1985, and I'm going to leave this city in 1990. Oh, and I'm going to leave this city in 2024. So right now it's 10 a.m. We are in our English class. We are studying English this morning. So this is something that's happening right now. Right now it's 10 a.m. Nancy left home at 9 a.m. to go downtown. She isn't at home right now. Nancy went downtown this morning. So this is in the past. Right now it's 10 a.m. Class ends at 11 a.m. After class today, I'm going to go to the post office. I'm going to go to the post office this morning. So this is something in the future. Present, past, future. Today, tonight, this morning, this afternoon, this evening, this week, this evening, this month, and this year. And so here you can use this morning, and this morning to talk about the present, to talk about the past, and to talk about the future. So this morning can be used for both present, past, and future. And once again, as I said in the beginning, future time will. Mike will arrive at 10 o'clock. Mike is going to arrive at 10 o'clock. Same meaning. Mike will go there. Mike will goes there. No, nobody talks like that. That's not correct. And you can't say Mike wills go there. You have to always say Mike will arrive. So the will cannot be made plural. So Mike will arrive at 10 o'clock. Mike will arrives, and you can't make arrive plural. So Mike will arrive at 10 o'clock. Mike will go there. You can't say Mike will to go there. So will does not have to. I will come, I'll come. You will come, you'll come. She will come, she'll come. He will come, he'll come. It will come, it'll come. We will come, we'll come. They will come, they'll come. Bob will not be here tomorrow. Bob won't be here tomorrow. So when we use contractions, that's usually in spoken English, more so than in written English. So Ahmed isn't going to come to our party. So here you would say, Ahmed will not come to our party. He's going to be out of town next week. He will be out of town next week. Miss Rivera is going to be in class tomorrow. Miss Rivera will be in class tomorrow. She has a cold, but she isn't going to stay home. She has a cold, but she will not stay home. Jack and Olga are going to meet us at the movie theater. Jack and Olga will meet us at the movie theater. They're going to be there at 7:15. They will be there at 7:15. Tina is going to stay home and watch TV. Tina will stay home and watch TV. And so here you don't say Tina will to stay home. So you have to say, that's probably what this, star is. So basically going to and will have the same meaning. Will Tom come tomorrow? Yes, he will. No, he won't. Will you be at home tonight? Yes, I will. No, I won't. When will Anne arrive? Next Saturday. What time will the plane arrive? 3:30. When will you be here tonight? Oh, where will you be tonight? At home. So here you would say, will you be at home tomorrow night? I will. Will Anne be in class tomorrow? She won't. When will you see Mr. Pong? Tomorrow afternoon. Will the plane be on time? Yes, it will. Will the dinner be ready in a few minutes? Yes, it will. When will the dinner be ready? In a few minutes. When will you graduate? Next year. Where will Mary go next year? Or where will Mary go to school next year? She's going to go to school at the community college. So here you would have, where will Mike go? When will Mike go to Chicago? Next week. That sort of thing. So here you have, that's how you do the when will and that kind of stuff. So here is a summary of simple present. I eat lunch every day. He eats lunch every day. I don't eat breakfast. She doesn't eat breakfast. Do you eat breakfast? Does she eat lunch? Present progressive, something that's happening right now. I am eating an apple right now. She is eating an apple. They are eating apples. I'm not eating a pear. She isn't eating a pear. They aren't eating pears. Am I eating a banana? Is he eating a banana? Are they eating bananas? Simple past. He ate lunch yesterday. He didn't eat breakfast. Did you eat breakfast? Be going to. Future. I'm going to eat lunch at noon. She is going to eat lunch at noon. They are going to eat lunch at noon. I'm not going to eat breakfast tomorrow. She isn't going to eat breakfast tomorrow. They aren't going to eat breakfast tomorrow. Am I going to see you tomorrow? Is she going to eat lunch tomorrow? Are they going to eat lunch tomorrow? Will. He will eat lunch tomorrow. He won't eat breakfast tomorrow. Will he eat lunch tomorrow? So this is a summary of all of the tenses we've done so far. So simple present means something that happens every day. Present progressive means something that happens right now. Simple past is a completed action in the past. Am going to means the same thing as will, so it's the future. And will also means the future, something that's happening tomorrow. And here, simple present. I am from Korea. I am not from Jordan. Am I in the right room? He is from Egypt. She isn't from China. Is she from Greece? They are from Venezuela. They are not from Italy. Are they from Kenya? Anne was late yesterday. She wasn't on time. Was she in class? They were late yesterday. They weren't on time. Were they in class? I am going to be late. I'm not going to be on time. Am I going to be late? She is going to be late. She isn't going to be on time. Is she going to be late? They are going to be late. They aren't going to be on time. Are they going to be late tomorrow? He will be at home tomorrow. He won't be at home tomorrow. Will he be at home tomorrow? So here you have the simple past, simple present, simple past, be going to, and will. Yeah, it's a lot more fun if you had, if there were more people doing it together. And I used to teach grammar class, and believe it or not, when you have a lot of students who love grammar and you teach it together, it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to stop this video at this juncture.